Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Without wasting any time, we're just going to run straight to it. Introduction to what we're all about.
Yes, so our challenge was actually defending from attacks from the red team. So what we're doing is actually like scanning the attack for the attacks which are coming in, and then we actually use a honey mob thing so that we can actually trap the user, the attacker, and then actually kick them out or block their IP address in our system.
Okay, so to actually start with everything, what is happening, what they are hacking into, it's actually essentially where we found the directory we call CGI directory, and this is where actually all the scripts are stored. And for it to be created, it actually has to be declared in the highest level, which is the FTP, and after that, that's when you actually have this CGI bin directory. So my colleague is going to come through and talk about the CGI PHP.
Okay, so our second task was to defend against a CGI PHP. It's the same attack as the first one, CGI bin, just that the difference that this one, the commands are injected through PHP, to a PHP directory. Okay, and the CGI PHP does not allow remote execution. So like we use they used a vulnerability that impact the born again shell, which is the bash. Bash is not usually available through a web application, but can be directly exposed through a common gateway interface. So how do we address the identified vulnerabilities? Firstly, we can update our bash, because these vulnerabilities have been patched a while ago in PHP 5. Because they were there in PHP 5.5. So, and then backing up your data could also help just in case something happens.
So for task 1, which we had the idea of using a decoy, which is a honeypot. So we decoyed the red team into trying and hacking our system. Then we got a shell key from there.
Okay, so now we will outline the tools that were very useful when performing this defense that we were facing, like against the attack that we faced. So the first tool is a Wireshark. Wireshark is a network monitoring tool. You can use it to filter any, like by anything. For example, you can filter by the IP, the MAC address, or the port, or by destination or sources. And then the second one is the BAP suite, which you can use to actually start a proxy and then try to inject your commands. And then sysmonitor is a Windows Windows tool that you can monitor your network and any connections coming to, even vulnerabilities or attacks. Even PS tool, it's a process monitoring tool, so it lists all the processes running on the on the network.
Okay, so the toughest thing we had to do was actually predicting the method of attack the attackers were going to use, because we were actually thinking of this in a real world situation. So we actually thought of methods that the user would use, which was actually most common was the injection, and the other one was the reverse shell. Yes. Getting the Metasploit framework to work was actually the tricky part, actually, because we had to actually scan all of the ports the attacker was using to get into our system.
Okay, we actually had another issue where when we were just forming, it was a new group that was formed here, and we actually had a little bit of struggle in terms of finding balance as different skills have been brought together. We actually have problems with our computers here, so a lot of challenges were actually more on the hardware side of the challenge. without wasting any time, we're going to try to demonstrate what Wireshark will do.
Okay.
And here are some of the resources that we use to research or to find more information about the subject.
Yes. So let me come inside.
No, you have to see it.
I can see it here. So what we actually did is that we actually got a file full of requests which are actually we can open with Wireshark. So we actually opened them, all of them, and then we actually checked what was the user pinging or what was the user requesting. And then we found out that there was actually a client handshake that was taking place from a Windows PC to another Windows PC. And then the second one we used, we actually found out that the same happened. However, it was from a Mac OS to a Windows PC. And then these are actually encrypted with TSL. And since they were not running on our native computer, we were unable to get the TSL key.
All right.